All right, welcome everybody to another webinar from the DeKalb County UNITES team. This is our Getting Ready for Recovery series. We have webinars every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. With a full boat of just educational webinars with different industry experts and hearing firsthand from small businesses that are adjusting during these crazy times. Today we are doing our small business spotlight. I will let the panelists introduce themselves in a second, but before we get there, I just wanted to explain DeKalb County UNITES. DeKalb County UNITES is a grassroots initiative right now in DeKalb County. It is made up of people from Northern Illinois University, the government sector, the private sector, nonprofit sector, you name it. It was just a whole bunch of people that came together instantly when the COVID-19 crisis hit and shelter in place was mandated, and we realized that there was going to be a huge impact on the small business community. We all know the small business community is full of our friends, our neighbors, and family members are employed there. They're the backbone to our economy. They're the ones that fund the events at schools. The nonprofit community, they are the world to us. So we really wanted to make sure we did everything we could to help them through this crisis that's happening right now. So DeKalb County UNITES, if you go to DeKalbCountyUnites.com, you can find out more about us. There's just 3 major initiatives that we're a part of that we've been driving in order to make that positive impact. One of them is our website, which is full of a wealth of information, frequently asked questions from the webinars, as well as what programs are out there from the federal and state and local level that small businesses can take advantage of. So I highly recommend all you small business owners go to DeKalbCountyUnites.com. We also got on the horn. The DeKalb County Economic Development Corporation's board of directors picked up the phone and called all the major employers in our area. We had over 50 participate in a program in order to start purchasing locally and then accelerating their purchases. So a lot of these organizations had budgets. They knew what they were going to spend over the course of the year. So we encouraged them to advance that spending and spend it now within our local economy. And over 50 participated and made a huge impact, which is fantastic. And then the last piece is this webinar series. Every Monday, we have Mark Kerman from Seifert, Frank Roberts from First National Bank. They're talking about the PPP loan and the EIDL loan. A lot of great conversations happening there. Wednesdays is usually subject matter experts about something going on about the crisis that impacts small businesses, from the unemployment office to the Department of Health we had last Wednesday. And then today, the Fridays, are the small business spotlight. So I'd love to let each panelist introduce themselves. This is an informal webinar, so I encourage all of you, if you have a question, just move your mouse down to the bottom of your screen, click on the Q&A icon there, type it in, and then Courtney and I will do our best to get every question answered. To introduce myself, I am Cohen Barnes with Sundog IT here in DeKalb, Illinois. I am a small business owner. We have Courtney Strohacker from the DeKalb County Convention and Visitors Bureau. She's my right-hand woman through all this, helping these webinars go as smooth as possible. And with that, I'll let the panelists introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about your business. And we'll start with Veronica. Hi, Veronica.
Hi, thank you for having us. So I own a little studio salon in Genoa. We opened back up in 2017, and it was skyrocketing. Everything's been doing great. We do hair, makeup, massages, you name it, anything in the beauty realm, we can cover that for you. And we're located right in the Genoa area and surrounding counties around us as well. So
awesome. Well, thanks for coming today, and I know you're impacted greatly because my understanding is you're not allowed to cut hair right now, correct?
Nope. I am not allowed to perform my job currently.
I feel for you, most definitely. Vicki, how about you? Tell us a little bit about yourself and Kid Stuff.
All right. Well, I am Vicky Obermiller. I own Kid Stuff right here in downtown DeKalb. And I've been down here for working on 21 years. We'll get through this and we'll celebrate 21 years. We do maternity and kids, primarily resale. Within the past year, I've started expanding and I've done more new kids boutique stuff. So we have a small section of that, and I call that my Molly and Miles section. We do a lot with all incomes. We buy and sell and trade for the kids' items and maternity. With this, obviously, we're not getting a lot of new merchandise in, but I have good stock still.
Awesome. And Carolyn, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I'm Carolyn Tobinson, a third-generation owner of Tobinson's Ace Hardware up here in Genoa. My grandfather started in 1927 in Rockford, and we've been in Genoa since 1974. We really have a good presence with our local community. We love them, and they're very good to us. We also like to promote local businesses. We have a local section in our store, and we just love what we're doing.
Awesome. Well, welcome. So Veronica and Vicki, you all are not allowed to have people in your establishments as part of the shelter in place, as part of the mandate from Governor Pritzker. But Carolyn, being a hardware store, you're fully open and people are coming in because everyone's at home, I assume, and has nothing to do. So they want to plant flowers and they want to work on their house, right?
It's a lot of painting going on out there.
Yeah. So it's fun today because we've got fun, and I'm being uber respectful of the situation we're all in. But I love being around small business owners because I'm just blown away by that entrepreneurial spirit and the creativity. So when I use fun, I am being very appreciative of the situation that we're in right now. So I'm excited about today's discussion. So I figure I'd love to know from the three of you how the COVID-19 crisis has affected you, because people that are watching right now and people that are going to watch this video are going to be from both camps. Either they can't service clients and they're struggling, or they're an essential business and they're open and they're struggling with trying to deal with getting PPE equipment for their staff, trying to juggle keeping their clients and customers safe and their people safe. And then they're struggling also, we've talked a lot about it, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but with unemployment right now, it's very lucrative, depending on your wage, but it's very lucrative to be on unemployment. So we've had some struggles getting people to come back to the workforce as well because of what's going on. So we all have challenges. We all are going through our own COVID-19 crisis. But I would love to hear each of your stories on COVID hit and how did it impact you? And then we'll get into creative things that you're doing right now during this crisis. But if you could just give everyone a little idea on the impact, that would be fantastic. And I thought we'll start with Vicki right now. That's all right, Vicki?
Okay, sure. So when we started, actually we were doing really good. We were up all year. Like, it was amazing. It was like, we are going to have our best year yet. And so excited. We were, our percentages were well above what we normally are. And then it hit and it was like, okay, it was a wall. It was a wall. So because at least I was up until the point we had to close, it made March workable. So I was able to cover the expenses I needed to. And I really didn't come in. I really didn't do anything. Then that first week of April, it was like, oh yeah, now I've got to figure out how I'm going to make this happen again. How am I going to pull off a month's worth of rent? So it was a challenge. Tried a few things and some of them just didn't work out well. Live and learn. So like everything we do, being a small business owner.
I imagine anxiety went up.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, what's that phrase? The fear, uncertainty, and doubt, right? I mean,
yes, absolutely.
All the unknowns, and heck, we're still dealing with a bunch of unknowns because you don't know when you are going to open up. Is correct. Right now, based off of Pritzker's 5-phase plan. So. Right,
exactly.
Day by day.
People's money only lasts so long, whether they are working full-time and from home, or if they are on unemployment and getting their budget. Prices of food are going up, so it's like, okay, everything is being more monitored.
Yeah, I would imagine though, with all the people with little kids out there, that got to be somewhat top of mind. I mean, kids are still growing; they need new clothes, they need toys.
And change of season. This did come at
I'm one of them too.
Our flip. It's like, oh, we're gonna need shorts. So that has been a big thing. It's like, oh, well, what summer stuff do you have left? All the big outside, because you can't go to a park, all the bigger outside stuff is gone because it's a need that the kids need something to do.
Yep. How about you, Veronica? Tell me about before and once it hit.
Before, I mean, just even this year, I mean, I have a 9-month-old now. I had come back to work. Everyone was excited, you know, like business was building up almost to the point where I needed another stylist in our salon. And I was looking for more people. I was looking for an esthetician. Like I was looking for more people, you know, to come in. And unfortunately, this completely just put everything at a standstill. I mean, completely. You know, it was pretty, I mean, I'm a dramatic person, but I mean, it was dramatic. I mean, it was like, it just completely stopped us in our tracks, you know, because we were going up this hill of revenue and new people coming in, and I was doing a lot of advertisement and, you know, new signage and everything. And all of a sudden it just, you know, middle of March, it just stopped. So, yeah, ever since that, I mean, when that happened, it was a lot to take in, you know, it was a lot to take in. You know, I have another independent contractor who's another stylist inside of our salon as well. And that's impacted her as well as me, you know, as well as my sister who also works there as a massage therapist. It's impacted us tremendously, you know, and also too, on top of that, you know, I'm extremely close with my clients, and it's sad because I miss them, Courtney. I miss, you know, I miss that interaction. I miss my routine. You know, I mean, everything about it. It's just the forcing to close is just, you know, it's been a halt, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, you know, turning that lock and not knowing.
Just closing the door.
Yeah. I can imagine. Carolyn, you're the other side of it. So this is a hardware store, like we said, everyone's coming to you. So pre-COVID and now COVID, what have things been like for you?
Pre-COVID, we were just getting ready to gear up for spring, hoping that the weather was going to turn for us and start getting busier, stocking the spring supplies. And then when everything hit, everybody got scared, and half of my employees got scared. And I have employees that are, they shouldn't be working in this environment. So it was, okay, if you need to not work, then don't work and don't come in. And all of a sudden we found ourselves at half staff, but people just kept coming in, and customers were just unbelievable. And in April, we just started going gangbusters, and we had to get some kind of help because the only thing we could do was wait on customers and try and put the stock away, which our trucks are double the size right now. But it's a good problem to have. I'm very, very fortunate. We have like I said, wonderful community, great customers, and you could tell that people just wanted to get out of the house. And they wanted to come, and I see some people almost every day. But it started out where families would come in the first weeks of April, and then they started realizing, well, we can't do this anymore. We have to have a limit on the number of people coming in the store. And people are good about that now. Maybe a couple might come in, but most of the time people come in by themselves, and we don't see a lot of children. But they've got lots of projects to do, and a lot of people are very happy they're getting all their honeydew lists done. So it's good that we can be there for that.
Yeah, I heard someone say that this spring everyone's yards are going to look amazing.
I think so,
because everyone's got the time to do it. So I guess I'd like to simultaneously, just maybe we'll go backwards through it, but I'd love to hear what you've done that might be, we'll call it unique, or maybe you don't think it's unique, but share with us just something, one or two things that you might have done differently now that you're in it, compared to how you were operating before. And I know, like for Vicki and Veronica, I mean, that's a whole nother challenge. So it may not be generating revenue, because Veronica, you can't bring people in and cut hair and do all the stuff that you do. And I'm a guy, right? So I'm just thinking cutting hair. I know you do a whole variety of services, but bear with me. But I'm also curious if you have any comments on how you have tried to stay top of mind with your clients. So when shelter in place ends, right? How am I going to remember that I want to go to Studio 815? for my haircut as opposed to some other place. So if you all could share just tips, tricks that you've done that you think have made you successful right now, as well as might make you successful in the future, that would be phenomenal. And Carolyn, I'll just start with you. I'll go backwards through the list. That's right.
We're focusing on keeping the interaction with our customers, first name basis. We're getting so much more online ordering, curbside pickup, but still keeping our presence and bending over backwards to do whatever we can, because that's absolutely a fear. What's going to happen when all of this ends, and where will my customers be going? We want them to come back and keep shopping with us, because I see a lot of new faces too. So we're just trying to do that. We're very blessed that Ace has been very, very good to all of us retailers. They've tackled it with a lot of signage. They're promoting everything online. They provide us, they're bending over backwards to find any avenue they can to get us PPE for our employees, our staff. And so I've got that in my corner. I'm very lucky to have that.
That's awesome.
Nice.
How about you, Vicki? What have you done?
What have I done? Well, I tried making a web store, and I have decided that that was unsuccessful in the way that I was using it. I couldn't get people to go to the website. I still have only had minimal visitors. So that in and of itself is its own issue, and I will continue working on that a little bit. But given that I have probably millions of pieces in my store, it's going to take a long time to get that loaded up correctly, I guess, in a more effective way. So I kind of scrapped the idea and have gone to what can I do visually. So I just put it out there that I would do video calls, and we could video shop, kind of like this Zoom meeting.
Awesome.
So you can call me, we'll walk through the store together, kind of a thing, and you still kind of get the in-person feel, but it's not exactly the same. The other idea that I have been very successful with is actually, we did a fellow business owner goes, let's fill your window with a whole bunch of stuff. And I said, okay. So then we made a game out of it. We'll do like an I Spy game, because, you know, I'm a kid's store. So when you cram so much stuff in there, you kind of have to stop and look. And I took some really good pictures and posted those. We had lots of good interaction off of that. And so I think that that's something that most businesses can do.
I love that idea, because my kids are 19 and 17 now. So, but I remember the I Spy books, and oh my God,
right.
we would spend hours just trying to find everything on that. So that's
right.
really cool of a way to get your customers engaged
right.
on an activity that they're used to doing with their kids anyway, but it's getting
right.
familiar with
so,
what you sell.
Exactly. Like if they happen to be out for a walk and are downtown, then they can peek in the windows and do it, or they can do it virtually online.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the virtual shopping. So like if I had a 6-year-old boy, I could be like, hey,
right.
Vicki, I got a 6-year-old boy. I'm curious about clothes, toys, and how would I get a hold of you?
Basically all you do is you can give me a call on the store phone, which is 815-787-7683, or I've been giving out my personal cell phone because it's easier to do it on my cell phone, obviously. If they call me through the store, then I just call them back on my cell phone. So it does make it pretty easy to do it that way, because then you do that. I've been using Duo it's through Google, and it just happened to already be on my phone. So
wait, what is Duo?
Google Duo. It is a video phone call, and it doesn't seem to have a little bit of a lag. Like, I don't know, I have a Galaxy, so some of the other video call options aren't as effective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this one tends to work pretty good.
And it's easy for people on the other end to get hooked up.
Yeah.
And
Right, because even if they have iPhones or something like, you know, another brand, because it's Google, you can get it easily through the app stores.
Fascinating. So in thinking of Carolyn on this, you know, the whole, so I'm in technology, and seeing everyone that used to be like, I'm not going to go on Facebook, or I'm not going to do a video call, or, you know, get off my lawn, that whole generation, right? That generation goes from 20-year-olds to 80-year-olds. I mean, it's not an age thing, but to see everyone transition so almost instantly to adopting technology and being comfortable with it, because now they're incentivized. They need that. I mean, I could see like, and I was thinking as Vicki was talking, Carolyn, that, and who knows, but in the future, you can almost see, I've called hardware stores before and said, hey, do you have X, Y, or Z? And then someone runs and checks in the aisle. Well, how cool would it be if they're walking me down the aisle and showing me?
I'm already writing this down. I love Vicky's idea. That's amazing. Because we get that a lot.
Not just for right now. This is future, right? How can we capitalize on people's acceptance of technology now to when it's normal, where they could come to your store, but you know what? Maybe, hey, I'm just going to call Carolyn and say, can you show me what drill bits you have? And I want to see if you've got X kind of thing. That could be really
cool. As they get that extra bit, you know, like you used to have add-ons on your register and be like, oh, well, I could use that extra tape measure because mine isn't working right. So it's that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So as you're walking by, they may not have thought that they needed that.
Yeah, that's awesome. How about you, Veronica? So tell us about anything you've done to either generate revenue right now or try and stay top of mind with your customers.
Absolutely. So when I had first found out that we were closing, I was trying to make videos to see what clients wanted, what they're engaged in, what, you know, what I could do from home to help them, whether that was, you know, if they're growing if they can't cut their own bangs, you know, how could you wear your bangs? I was suggesting video calls. They can, you know, anyone can Skype me or, you know, Zoom me. But it started that way. And then eventually, once I knew that we were progressively going to be closed even longer, it's not, for a hairstylist point of view, it's not typical to make color kits or, you know, deliver products to people's front doorsteps. But in the situation that we're in, there's certain circumstances. And I think that's where I kind of flipped. You know, I decided that I was going to, you know, I have clients that needed their roots touched up. I know their formula. I know exactly what goes on their head. So I actually started sending at-home kits to my clients that needed that. Yeah, you know, people, regardless if they're with me or not, my top priority is my clients. I care about them. I love them. I miss them. So I think, whether they're home or whether they are still working and they are considered essential employees, they want to feel good about themselves. And I still wanted to provide that service for them. So that's when I decided that I was going to make kits that people at home can actually apply the professional color that I use on them with very descriptive instructions so that we can actually allow my clients to touch up their color at home, so to speak, and just to get us through, you know, and that's kind of helped with some revenue. Nothing crazy, but it's enough. More, like I said, more so I'm concerned about my clients. I want to keep my clients, you know, I want to be able to help them as much as possible. Also, too, delivering products, professional products. I'm able to get them shipped directly to my house, and then I can do porch drop-offs, which is what I've been doing as well. And that's helped too as well. Obviously, you know, I can't be teaching people, you know, I can't teach your wife how to cut your hair right now, but you know, that'll be, hopefully that's not the next step that we have to take.
My daughter's actually the one cutting my hair right now. Yeah, I love the color kits. I mean, I was blonde before COVID-19 hit, and now look at me, you know.
Not my fault.
Well, send me some of your address, and I can send you one right over. You just let me know.
That's genius, though. If you think, and I know you thought about it, but here, just me hearing it, right? So you have customers that obviously everyone's hair is different, and everyone has their own style. You knew their color. So to be able to put a color kit together, to be able to get it for the roots to get done and stuff. I better not tell too personal because people can connect dots, but I know people that go to salons that have this exact issue that are not getting that service. And that is awesome because every customer that you've done that for, if I had to guess, has someone, a friend that probably went, oh my God, I wish I would have had that. And now, you know, Studio 815 is going to be top of mind, not only for your customers to take care of them that way is staggeringly awesome, but also just other people are going to know you now because of the personal care that you've given, which that to me, that's entrepreneurialism, right? That's see a need, fill a need. So crushing it from that perspective. That's
I'm going to butt in for a second because Ronnie said she just did kits and dropped them off, but she went way over that. And we saw in some of the other webinars that we've done already, especially with like Brian, and he was saying, OC marketing, with really making things personal and really putting that touch with your customers. She wrote, Ronnie, well, I'll divulge my information. And yes, I was one of those customers that did purchase one of those kits because I called her and I was like, oh my God, I look like a skunk. You have to help me. Cohen's making me do these webinars and I look like a skunk. So she was like, don't go and just buy anything. I will take care of you. She gave me a step-by-step instructions on what to do and then wrote like a sweet little note at the bottom that was like, you're beautiful. I miss your smile. I can't wait to see you. So not only did she do, curbside or door-to-door delivery, she actually delivered it to my house, but she really took that extra step to write a personal note, to personalize every little kit. So people remember that. I mean, I'm going to remember that. I loved, her service before that, but for sure now after that, and you betcha, I put it out on Facebook and took pictures and told everyone that's on my page about my experience. So it's, a brilliant way to market, a brilliant way to make your customers feel special. So kudos. But going back, Ronnie, when this all started, I think it's important. You weren't even doing credit cards at the time.
No, cash or check.
Yeah. I think your salon has completely changed in the last 2 months to now you can do payment on, over your phone. Online, you didn't have the getting gift certificates online. We were able to do that. So really pivoted and modified a lot to crush it during COVID.
Right. Yeah. We're doing, I'm trying to think as many things of options for people. So giving them discounts on gift certificates. If they purchase them now, you get a discounted price for when you do decide to come in, you know what I mean? So such as those things, I'm trying to think of ways to help our business, but also help my clients as well.
Yeah, and Carolyn and Vicki, I've got more questions, but feel free if there's ever anything we're talking about and you want to chime in, raise your hand, and I'll make sure to call on you. But that's a good point. We've got a question from the audience on, can you all talk about programs, resources, or tools that have been helpful during this time? So that was a great example, cash and check, and now you're processing credit cards. But how about you, Vicki? Is there anything different? Like you mentioned, trying to go to the store and it didn't work out. You did talk about doing Duo, which is that's really cool because I know Duo from an IT security standpoint on multi-factor authentication. I had no idea that they offered video conferencing as well, or video chat.
Yeah.
Any tools that you might have utilized during this time?
Really, that was my biggest one that I have totally used. I used Square for my credit card processing, and so that's where I was starting up that web store.
Yeah. We've heard about that Square store, right?
Yes, and I think it's more my user error versus the platform. So I've had other people say that they're doing really well with it. So.
Yeah, we know Bill from the Lincoln Inn, when he heard, I can't remember, I think it was Brian from OC Creates that brought up the Square store. He instantly adopted it. Now, he doesn't have thousands of items, right? He has a menu and he can put on a certain menu. So it was a little easier for him. Yeah. But he started utilizing that to instantly start generating revenue for his organization.
Which is great. Yeah.
How about you, Carolyn? Anything changed from a technology perspective during this time?
Yeah, ACE finally got their app figured out, and it launched right at the same time that this all happened. So it is a great online tool, and it makes our job so much easier. And my cashier said, my main cashier that's been with me every day, she has more fun showing people how to set up the app on their phone. And they can see their ACE rewards points, they can shop, they can do all this stuff. We've got, it's just such a great thing to have. And we have our retailer app that anybody that orders anything online, it comes to me instantly. We can do deliveries with it. They can sign right on the phone. We don't have to have any contact with anybody if they don't want to. that's just been really fun to get to learn how to use it all.
And on the app, then they can select curbside, or how does that
Yes.
work?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah, so your customers have the option just to order online and pull right up and have you bring
Yep.
this stuff out. That's pretty
They
cool.
do. They call, and then some people just call and they want to order, they want to shop on the phone. So we do. We have cordless phones. We walk around the store and we shop for them and then bag it all up and take it out to their car.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's what I'm saying. Who knows what this looks like afterwards, right? But there is opportunity here that, you know, grocery stores, even before COVID-19 started doing home delivery, who knows where our businesses are going to be after this. But the fact that people have adopted technology so quickly, I think it's going to open a lot of doors for us. It just sucks we had to learn it this way.
Right.
It is what it is.
In such a rush.
Yep.
Little unknown fact maybe for some people, for ACE though, when I was at the Genoa Chamber, we ordered all of our paper supplies from Tobinson's. It's not just, you know, household yard things. Carolyn, maybe you want to talk, I mean, you can get paper towels. We did reams of paper, boxes of paper, and you were doing
cleaning supplies even. I purchased
Yes.
cleaning supplies from there as well.
Yeah.
Yes, our business-to-business program keeps growing, and it's something that ACE encourages, and it's huge for us because all businesses need cleaning supplies, they need paper supplies, and it's something that's very easy for us to get commercial paper and all the supplies. So that's something that we've been trying to promote, and it's growing.
So a question for all of you came in. What have you been doing to partner with other local businesses, or have you started any partnerships now that you weren't doing before? And maybe, Carolyn, you can talk about the Genoa stimulus package too, but I think I'll have Vicki start. Any partner?
I run the downtown, monitor the downtown DeKalb page. So I partnership with pretty much everybody that's down here. I try to share all their infos and promos that they do as I see them. I miss some, I'm obviously, because I'm not on my phone all the time, but I try to find everybody's and get them shared that way. I know I've helped out, and they've helped me a lot. Found Home and Vintage, Leslie and Janet, Blue Door Decor. We kind of can cover each other's shops. We have some keys. It's like, okay, if I can't make a pickup time, that, you know, somebody else can run in and make sure it's available for them. Just, you know, set the bag outside or whatever needs to happen.
Great. How about Veronica or Carolyn, working with other businesses in partnership?
Well, we do, we're the local hub drop-off spot for a lot of at-home businesses. They've done a weekly shop, if you will, and then they can buy from different vendors through this hub. And then on Thursdays, all of that comes to ACE, and then their customers can pick that up. We partner with any local vendor at home. We have local honey, we have local candles. These people can't do craft shows right now or markets, and so they actually can't put their products anywhere. So I encourage them, come into the store. We just keep track of the sales. We take a tiny percentage off of their products, way less than what I would do for normal products, because I think it's important for them to make their money too. And so we've done that. And then we did a stimulus package in Genoa too, where 9 different businesses got together, and we did $10 gift certificates in this package, and then the packages were sold online. And I think the first go around, it was over 22 packages, and then we've done another 8 or 10 packages in this go around. So it's helping a lot of the businesses that are closed right now.
That's awesome.
Okay.
You, Veronica, any tag teaming with another business at all, or?
Yeah, I actually, I befriended Scott from the barber shop in town in Genoa. Hi, Scott, if you're watching. But yeah, him and I have kind of tag teamed as far as, you know, different ideas. I also know a couple different local stylists as well, just to kind of gather ideas of, like, you know, how we're going to deal with COVID and how we're going to deal with reopening after all this is done. There's different certificates, you know, like Scott had sent me a about barbicide. You know, you can get certified, which I plan on doing, getting for COVID-19 specifically, you can get a certification through barbicide, which is all the has to do with all the different safety issues dealing with COVID. So when we do decide to reopen, we know the safety precautions to take, I mean, but as far as like what we can and cannot do right now, I mean, that's limited to us just because we cannot provide our services ourselves. So right now it's a lot of thinking. It's a lot of, I'm trying to work with other businesses, just like Carolyn had said as well. I've talked to other local companies, local businesses in Genoa that sell candles, that sell other things. And I'm happy to retail them at my stores as well, just to help promote the small businesses in town.
Awesome. Yeah, we had Byers Brewing and the Ford's Brew House and John and Mac Orchard on a previous Small Business Spotlight on Friday, and they formed a DeKalb County Craft Brewers Alliance where they're delivering each other's beer. So same kind of thing, Veronica, where it's like people can't come in and sit down and buy a bunch of beer. But they thought, would it be cool to do home delivery? And why don't the three of us just team up? And it has been incredibly impactful for them. So highly encourage those listening, and the three of you even, just keep thinking about those ways to work together with other businesses. And you're probably going to find even more ways to generate revenue. But at a minimum, it's just all of us sticking together and trying to help each other out, which is important. Veronica, you had a great segue when you started talking about PPE. I'm curious about what are you all thinking it might look like in your individual businesses, or what are you going to do that you already know maybe, as far as making your customers feel safe and your staff feel safe once you start bringing customers back into your business, or in your case, Carolyn, what does the future look like? And I think I'll just start with Veronica. When phase 3 hits, I think that's when people can come to your salon. What does that look like?
Well, I've also looked at other forums in other states that are open, like Georgia. They're currently open. I've seen on Facebook. Facebook's been a great medium for me to look for different businesses doing hair, what they're doing for PPE. They're doing disposable aprons, disposable capes, masks are, and it is going to change. It is going to change pretty drastically from when we were open. It is going to require appointments only, no walk-ins. Before you come in, you must sanitize your hands. You have to have a mask, whether we provide that or they provide that for themselves. It's going to cut our revenue and the amount of clients that we have. It's going to cut them down to about half at least, because we have to have that time to prep in between clients for proper sterilization. Because we want to make sure that our clients feel safe, foremost than anything. We want to make sure our clients feel safe, and that's keeping us safe, keeping them safe. No transmitting between me and a client to another client. So it's going to require a lot of PPE. It's going to require us wearing masks, us changing our masks. Like I said, the aprons, disposable aprons. Even whether that's face shields to help. Face shields for clients when they're getting their shampoos done. So a lot is going to change when we first open, but it's more so, it's the bare essentials to help people get through, whether that's you coming in, going to get your hair cut, it's the bare essentials just to come and get what you need to done and make sure that you're happy when you leave, and make sure that you're safe when you leave more than anything, because, it's just, it's a lot of preparation, but what matters most to us is keeping the clients safe and keeping them happy. That's my main number one goal for when we are reopened.
And it's going to be tough because there's people out there with a whole wide variety of philosophies on this thing. Even internally, my marketing intern wanted to show me something, and he came and we were shoulder to shoulder, and I'm like, dude, come on, man. Come on. We got to have some distancing here. Or I went to see my doctor yesterday, and he walked in the room, no mask, and shook my hand. It's like, so it's going to be hard. But
for our job, I am touching people's faces. I am within inches of your face. So it's very, I mean, even when I received my license, when you receive your license for this, I mean, you have to know so much about sanitation just to begin with, before even the COVID, you know what I mean? So we had to know so much about sanitation. And on top of that, we're also doing other protocols that we will ensure that are going to happen for when we reopen. Like I said, gloves all the time, because when I would do, waxes and things such as that, I would wash my hands in between each client like I normally do, but I wouldn't have to wear gloves. But now, I have to wear latex gloves in between each client, whether, I'm touching their face or not. Do you know what I mean? So there's going to be a lot of precautions and hospital grade, sanitizers and disinfectants that we are going to have into place to make sure that our clients feel safe and that we are safe as well.
How about you, Carolyn? I mean, you're in it right now, so you're dealing with PPE and all that. But what do you see things looking like? Once the phases go through and more people are coming out and interacting, what's going to be the new normal for Ace Hardware for you?
Well, I think masks are here to stay. Yeah. I think that's going to be a permanent thing. The social distancing, we wipe down counters, pin pads for the debit cards, for the shopping carts. We're constantly wiping things down. And that's about all we can do right now, because we don't know what's coming into the store, and I want my staff to stay safe. Mm-hmm. And we want our customers to stay safe and feel safe in the store. So it's a constant wiping down and keeping things clean.
I think I know the root of this question, but it was directed towards you. Is Ace having any challenges related to wearing masks?
Challenges from consumers?
I think, well, it could be. I'm thinking, like, I wear glasses, and wearing a mask with glasses is a challenge because they're always fogging up on me. I'm adjusting, but anything you can share on just issues you've had with PPE?
We have the occasional customer that comes in and says that they don't believe in the masks and they're not going to wear the mask. And I say, well, unfortunately, I understand your views and value that, but here's a paper towel. You got to have a face covering on just to shop. And if you don't want to, we'll come outside and take care. We've done a few transactions outside the front door. But majority of everybody is good about that. I've seen so many different styles of face masks and face coverings out there. It's hilarious. I really love the ones that have the big mouth on the front of them.
Yeah. There could be a whole designer line, Gucci's going to have face masks. Yeah. I already do.
Yep.
How about you, Vicki? What going into kids stuff once you can open your doors? What's that going to look like for you?
It's going to be different from what everybody's used to. Pre all of this, the kids, I encourage parents to bring their kids to come and hang out and play and really just kind of just have a good time with the toys and stuff. That's going to unfortunately have to stop. So it may even come to the point that the really small kids, maybe I'll have to, if you could bring them in a stroller, make that kind of a recommendation. But I will have wipes and hand sanitizer and those things available. Great. When the days are beautiful, I'll keep the door propped open so nobody has to touch the door. As far as, touching other merchandise, I will do my best to try to help them and show them things so that way they don't feel like they have to touch things to experience what everything does. I've also contemplated showing, doing more of like a show and tell. It's like, oh, you want to look at 18 months? Sure, let me just lay these all out here for you to look at them, instead of if they're uneasy with, going through and touching the hangers. So
cool
those
thing
are
about
things
all
I thought about. Yeah.
The cool thing about all this is, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
We're all going to have to adjust, right? But I'll tell you firsthand what I've been learning through all this as part of DeKalb County UNITES is there's a lot of small businesses that aren't adjusting at all. Hopefully these are going to help educate a lot of those to help them through this time and during the recovery. But I got to give a lot of kudos to the three of you, because you will be here in the recovery, right? And that just, that's just awesome that you have that foresight to start looking past the immediate and how can I stay relevant? How can I generate? How can I be here?
Right.
So that's just awesome, and I applaud you for that. Courtney, any final questions, final thoughts?
So Carolyn, have seen some really great things that you've been doing to keep up your employee morale. Do you want to talk a little bit about just how you've been able to, it's hard, I mean, I think Cohen has said several times, we all have our own COVID story right now, and we're all dealing with it professionally and personally. And so I've seen some of your social media things that you've done, and your kindness is contagious through the Genoa Chamber. You want to talk about some of the things that you're doing quick?
Like slipping them a $50 bill periodically.
Money talks.
We buy lunch. Sunday is our short day, so it's only 6 hours. There's no way I can get lunch breaks and do split shifts. So we just order off the Subway app, and I go and pick it up, and we just have sandwiches all over the break room, socially distant, of course. And I just go and buy donuts occasionally. I try to just, all the certificates that were in the stimulus package are going out to my employees, just finding them. I go down to Pete's Castle and get the ice cream gift certificates because the kids all love their ice cream. Just trying to keep everything, let them know I really appreciate that they are here because it's their choice. They don't have to work right now, but I appreciate that they do stick with me.
That's awesome. All right, we're time to wrap up. God, I appreciate the time you all have spent with us today. I did want to call out a few things before everyone hops off this webinar. Next week, we've got webinars every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 2 p.m. Don't forget, this Monday, we'll have Frank and Mark and Jock on to talk about the PPP and EIDL loans, as well as any other questions around any other federal or state stimulus packages. These guys have the answers, but the discussion on PPP and forgiveness has been fascinating lately. So I highly recommend you register and tune in on Monday. Wednesday, we've got Dr. Jock Somiz and Calvin Giles from the Illinois Department of Employment Security on, and they're going to be talking about unemployment. And unemployment goes into the sole proprietor and what does that look like, as well as information you communicate to your staff. And us as employers want to know what our obligations are, what penalties we might have for it. And we're actually with Calvin Giles on. He is with the IDES and has a wealth of information, because right now if you try and get a hold of that department, good luck. It's just not going to happen. So we're blessed to have him on during this time. And then next Friday is our small business spotlight again. We've got Lizzie's Pink Boutique on. We've got John Bachman on from Bachman's Auto Care, and then Maria Pena Graham on from Caldwell Banker Real Estate Group to do just this, to share tips and tricks that they've got. So I'd encourage the three of you to attend. I'd encourage everyone that's on the webinar right now to attend and listening, because that's going to be another great one. So thank you again to Veronica and Vicki and Carolyn. You guys were absolutely amazing. Keep doing what
Thank you so much.
I look forward to seeing you all on the other side. And thanks, Courtney, for assisting me during the webinar again. And I just wish everyone stay safe and have a wonderful week. And
Happy Mother's Day to all those moms out there.
Happy Mother's Day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.